And this is your latest Manchester United transfer news as Lenny YORO is urged to snub Real Madrid. Will he do it? We'll have the latest on that. Also, a brand new deal for Scott McTominay. What are your thoughts about that? Also, we've got an update on De Ligt. Is the deal dead? Why are Manchester United tight-lipped about it? We'll talk about that. Also, a centre-back that might be ready to leave Manchester United or may retire from international duty and focus on his Manchester United career. We'll talk about that as well. And also, if Manchester United, who is the player that Manchester United can cash in on the most? We'll be talking about that as well. So get involved in the show. Lots to get into. I hope you did get the intro there because my stream is about 10 seconds behind where it should be because I felt that was where that I think that deserves a like, the start of that video. I thought it was very, very good. But if you didn't get that, then apologies. I think you did. No intro. Where did it start from then? Yeah, no intros. Did you get anything about YORO? 30 seconds off. We only just seen you. Okay, so very, very quickly, we're going to be talking about YORO snubbing Real Madrid. Will he really do it? A new deal for Scott McTominay. What's the latest on De Ligt and why Man United are tight-lipped about it? A Manchester United centre-back who could retire from international duty and not leave. And also, what is the signing that Manchester United can make the most from this summer? There is an offer on the table. Will Manchester United take it? And you'll be intrigued to see who that's going to be as well. Also, want to get into a few of your questions tonight as well. Lots to get into, and it'd be nice to get some questions in from you because it is a transfer window. It has been very hectic, and I don't think we've had a bit of an interactive chat for quite a while either as well. But before we get into all of that, we're sponsored by Manscaped on the show. Trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. You can do that through Manscaped, and you can do that with an exclusive United Stand viewer discount where you get 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code TUS. If you don't know what the Manscaped is by now, it's the lawnmower. It goes down there, it trims the grass, and it makes everything look bigger. Fantastic product, delivered to your door, 20% off, free worldwide shipping. A light, you could do it in the dark. It's waterproof. It's fantastic. They've also got other products like this, which I use daily, which is the beard trimmer, 11 different lengths on that. Fantastic. Weed whacker for up the nose. And if you like to be clean shaven, or you just use it for a tidy up, they've got the handyman where you can just carry it around with you, do it around there, get it all off if you want. All delivered to your door. Order what you want, 20% off, free worldwide shipping, fantastic products. Big shout out to Manscaped as usual. Why not just use a shaving stick, says Raymond. I don't know what one of those are. Let's get in with the show. Right, we're going to start off talking about Lenny YORO. Big shout out to Manscaped. Thanks for sponsoring the show. Scott Laird, welcome to the members club. You're a legend. And Kana Dave says, Ineos are going to screw this up big time. Just take De Ligt. He wants us, same Glazer crap. Oh, interesting. Now, is that a controversial point at the start there straight away? Well, we're going to do, we did this morning, but I just want to see if there's any change in the De Ligt or YORO conversation. So you can get your votes in on that. Right, where are we at with YORO? I mean, we seem to have spoken about it 4 times today already. Well, 3 times. But there are new updates coming in from French reports that Lenny YORO's entourage, including his agent and family, are pushing him towards Manchester United. He's open to talking to Manchester United about wages. So you'd say that the next 24 hours are really key because in my experience, when a player and an agent and an entourage are willing to talk to Manchester United, then realistically, I've got a good update on De Ligt, by the way. Realistically, it should happen very, very quickly. I still have my reservations about whether this is just to get Real Madrid to do something. Now, I heard something today on social media that sort of caught my eye, that Real Madrid might not want YORO. That they're monitoring the situation with David Alaba, and if his recovery is good, why move for YORO? They might just let him go because they don't want to spend the money on that. They're looking at Trent Alexander-Arnold. So, I mean, I don't know about that. I mean, the words YORO snubs Real Madrid for Manchester United just don't sound right, but oh my God, they sound exciting. So I think that, yeah, I think we all want to say that. And can I just say, if YORO signs for Man United, Madrid will have to live with the fact that he snubbed you for us. Whether it's true or not, he snubbed you for us. So that's going to happen. You know, that's just the way it goes in the football banter arena. But I think that what my big fear is here is, and God, if I see another person say that YORO's open to joining Man United like it's some sort of bloody exclusive. It seems every half an hour MUFC MPB is tweeting out, such and such says YORO is open to joining Man United. I'm like, it literally happened at 2 o'clock. The French guy who revealed the bid a few weeks ago put that out at 2 o'clock. It's as simple as that. So look, YORO is clearly open to joining Manchester United, and anyway, he's clearly open to joining Man United anyway, because the bid went in a week ago and we're still in it. So I think that, you know, he's still open to joining Manchester United. He's probably more open than ever. But I think what we have to just be very monitoring here is this a genuine move towards Man United getting this deal done? Or as I said this afternoon, is it a last throw of the dice to prompt Real Madrid? Because at the end of the day, if Real Madrid are saying to YORO, wait till next month, and he wants Real Madrid, why is he not waiting till next month? Why is he now saying, I want to move now? And I've heard people saying, wow, he's just getting impatient. He's just getting impatient. And I'm like, if Real Madrid's your dream move, Ronaldo waited a year for it. I don't think YORO is going to really be that bothered about waiting one more month for Real Madrid. I have two theories. One, Real Madrid do not want him anymore, and therefore he's going to come to Manchester United. Or two, this is all about getting Real Madrid to move quicker because they want to get it done. And we're going to find out, I think, in the next 24 hours. YORO open to join Man United. Breaking news, says Tim. Can I just stop the show as well? Wait a minute. I've got my phone. What's this? Yeah. Are you sure? I'm live, you know. Can I do it live on air? You're a legend. Thank you very much. Thanks, Fab. You're fab. Breaking news. Lenny YORO is open to joining Manchester United. Well, you heard it here first. You heard it here first. There you go. Sorry, I'm taking the piss. But no, look, the next 24 hours I think will be key on this because, and this is just my theory on it. I don't know whether you agree. But if YORO is open to joining Manchester United and we are negotiating the transfer, we know Real Madrid are there, and this is how it's going to play out. If we're negotiating the wages with YORO, I guarantee you, Man United are like, there's the wages. That's tonight. They'll be like, that's the package. There's the wages. Are we good to go? And United will do that quickly because they'll be aware that Madrid could try anything at any second. So it'll be like, come on, these are the wages. Are you happy with them? Are you ready to go? You're ready. You're happy. You're happy. Lenny, are you happy? Is he happy? Come on. Is he happy? He's just looking at me. He's not even looking at the pen. Lenny, are you, good wages? Yeah. Agent's happy. Family's happy. Let's have a party. Get the party poppers. Lenny, are you happy? Why aren't you giving me anything? What are you waiting for? Just let us know. Are you happy? Pick up the pen. Wink. You know, do something. And I think United will be now trying to get that done really quickly. And if in the next 24 hours it doesn't get done, I'd start to panic because then we'll find out if he's stalling waiting for Real Madrid. Because we've seen deals hijacked. Can I just say two words? Xerxes, which is 2 syllables. Joshua Xerxes, which is 2 words. Xerxes was at this point with AC Milan, pretty much. And Man United came in. To be fair, it wasn't at this point because they hadn't agreed the agent fee, but it was pretty much looking like it was going to done. There are other examples of hijacking deals very, very, very late. So, yeah, I think we'll find out in the next 24 hours. But it's encouraging that we're getting stories that his family are saying go to Manchester United. I don't know. As I said, if Real Madrid don't want him, then we'll win. If Real Madrid do want him, then if we win, it's even better. Got to give it to Ineos if they boss Real Madrid, says Tom. And Shane says, off topic, do you think a Sancho-Chiesa swap is a possibility? No, I don't think it's a possibility at all, Shane. Soham says, De Ligt is better for the playing 11. YORO is better for our image in the market. Both would be ideal, says Soham. Control-Alt-Delete, says Tommy. I like that. Control-Alt-Delete. says Tommy. Real Madrid don't want him if he joins us. Good move, though, says Steve Brown. And I will take De Ligt over YORO all day, says Jimmy. Why do I feel we're going to get both YORO and De Ligt, says Pascal. And Tommy, welcome to the Members Club. You're a legend. And Zach Payne as well is a legend too. And when you realise Harry is staying and YORO is backup, says John. No. Oh, I've just remembered, actually, a little bonus at the end of the stream. I'm going to read you a bit about out of my book. But people will leave and watch Love Island. It doesn't matter. But no. If we're signing YORO, he's going to start. Like, don't fall into that crap. You don't win a transfer race with Real Madrid by saying, hey, you could go to Madrid and play in the Bernabeu with Vinicius Jr. and Kylian Mbappe in the Champions League. Or you can come to Man United and be Harry Maguire's backup in the Europa League. Come to United. Where do I sign? No, he will be starting. He will be starting. We've got a bit of story on Harry Maguire actually coming out in a bit. But let's talk about De Ligt because Michael says you're going to spoil the book for us, mate. It's about 2 paragraphs. Don't worry. Hi, Mark. Can't help but feel sorry for De Ligt if we only get... I'll tell you a spoiler, so you can mute it if you want. Hi, Mark. Can't help but feel sorry for De Ligt if we only get YORO. We need 2 to 3 centre-backs, a holding midfielder and a winger, says Jay Harris. And is it going to be one or the other, or are we trying to get both YORO and De Ligt, says Ash. I'm going to give you an update in a moment, but I obviously want to just update and read your comments. Thank you very much for those. But, right, let's just talk about De Ligt, right? YORO is impeccable in the air, says the plug. Great central defender, not so much a ball-playing defender. Great statement signing. Well, I'm glad people are starting to talk about what YORO is, because put your hand up if you think YORO is the next Van Dijk. Put your hand up if you think he's the next Rio Ferdinand. Put your hand up if you think he's the next Sergio Ramos. Put your hand up if you haven't got a bloody clue. Nobody really has a clue what he's about. I think... all you need to know is Real Madrid, PSG, Liverpool really wanted him, and he is considered to be one of the up-and-coming best centre-backs in the game at the moment. And when you look at what Real Madrid have done with teenagers, nothing like that, don't worry. I'm talking about Bellingham, Camavinga, Tchouaméni, Rodrigo, Vinicius Jr. It's a pretty good hit rate when Real Madrid are looking to sign an 18-year-old. So, yes, they are he's a very, very good player in the sense of we don't really know much about him, but obviously a lot of top clubs do. And we'll have to wait and see what he is. As I said, I've been told by somebody that knows a lot about him that he's not particularly good at bringing the ball out from the back. He's not particularly good in a 50-50 tackle. But he'll be an incredible centre-back. And that makes me go, what's he good at then? But look, I haven't seen him yet, so I'm not going to really judge him. I will trust all these big clubs that want to sign him. Right, Jay, thank you very much for your super chat. Let's talk about De Ligt. So, the story of De Ligt goes like this. He was born in the Netherlands to a mum and dad. No, I'm not going to go that far back. I'm not even going to go far back as Ajax. I'm not even going to go as far back as Bayern Munich. I'm going to start with Manchester United agreeing personal terms with him. And last Wednesday, the situation was that we expected at the end of last week, here we go, Xerxes, which we got, and here we go, De Ligt, which we didn't get. So here we are on Tuesday night. What's happened Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday with De Ligt? Well, he's gone on holiday. He's gone on holiday. And what update we've had this morning, and the only update we've had this morning from The Athletic, is that Manchester United do not want both. It's an either or. Now, this morning on the United Stand 10 o'clock show, 68% of you wanted De Ligt and 32% of you wanted YORO. Well, tonight, you flip-flopping shits, I can see you, unless it's a completely different audience. 59% of you want De Ligt and 41% of you want YORO. So you know what that means? 11% of you are absolute flip-flops. Yeah, you are. You are. But look, that's football. We're flippant when it comes to transfers, and we all know that. Jay Bignell, welcome to the Members Club. So what's happening with De Ligt? So look, we, the United Stand, this lunchtime, told you, United Stand understands, that Rasmus will be wearing the number 9 shirt next season. Exclusive, new news. So we do get little bits of information, and that's always been the case. You've seen it before with other things. So Goldbridge and Co. and Sam and Ryan and everybody else, we've been doing our little bit this afternoon, trying to speak to people officially through the club, unofficially through the back door, to try and find out what we can about De Ligt. And I can tell you exclusively tonight that the situation with De Ligt, after all our hard work, is we haven't got a bloody clue, like everybody else. That's the short answer. The longer answer is, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. And look, we'll always be honest with you. Like, we haven't got anything. We can't. We've not got nothing. We can tell you Rasmus is going to wear number 9. We can tell you other bits, but we can't tell you anything about De Ligt because nobody is getting anything. And what I was told is it's not like Fabrizio knows. So, you know, the point is United very, very tight-lipped about this. Basically, the question we kept asking is the De Ligt story from this morning true? Are we still in for De Ligt? Are we not in for De Ligt? Do we want YORO and De Ligt? All the questions. You know, are you listening to me? Hello, I can see you've read the message. But in general, we did get some responses, and the responses was no comment on it at this moment. And I think when you get no comment on it this moment, that could mean no comment at this moment. It could also mean we're waiting to see if we're going to get YORO first. It could also mean that, you know, they don't want to not, that, you know, as the Bayern Munich director said today, anything can happen with regards to De Ligt. I have a hunch, just from some of the digging around we've done this afternoon. Alan says, I like not knowing. Sometimes you're better off not knowing. I have a hunch, and if I get this wrong, you know, I'm not trying to be... YORO's open to coming. That's breaking news. Did I tell you? YORO, that's exclusive. YORO's open to coming. I don't really care about what people interpret this next statement to be, because it's not coming in from anywhere. Because as I said, no one will bloody tell us anything about it. But my hunch is, from years of experience and guesswork and just a feeling, sometimes just a feeling, I think sometimes David Ornstein and Fabrizio Romano wake up and go, yes, this player is joining Man United, here we go. And all they've got is a feeling. I genuinely think Fabrizio sometimes has just guessed, here we go, and gone, phew, that worked. Obviously, I'm taking the piss. But those two do not work on feelings. They are emotionless shits when it comes to transfers. They deal in stone, hard, cold facts. But I'm going to deliver a feeling for you tonight. I have a feeling that we will see De Ligt in a Manchester United shirt this summer. I just have a feeling that it's not over. Now, whether that's because the YORO deal falls through or the YORO deal doesn't go through, I have a feeling that De Ligt will still happen. And that is completely contradicting what a good article has said this morning. But I still think De Ligt happens because I just think we've put too much work into that deal. And I don't think that the people involved in that deal will be putting that amount of work into it to walk away from it. So I think it will still happen. That's what I think will happen. And even if we sign to YORO, I still think we'll get De Ligt in, because you know what? I just think United have got to be very careful what they're doing here, because they're going to get stacked with centre-backs. If you get YORO in and then you get De Ligt in, and you get YORO, you get De Ligt, you've already got Martinez, you've already got Evans, then you've got Lindelof and you've got Maguire, and you still want a left-footed centre-back, you are stacked with centre-backs. I think what needs to happen is Martinez, Evans, YORO, De Ligt, bye-bye Lindelof, bye-bye Maguire, in comes a left-footed centre-back. But United have got to work towards that. So, and also, what's more pressing is YORO, because he's actually in pre-season with Lille and wants to get his future sorted out. De Ligt's on holiday for a couple of weeks. So I think YORO is more pressing. I still think we're in for De Ligt. Just from some of the chats today and how they wouldn't really say anything, I still think that we're in. Romano has retweeted the YORO tweet. Yeah, well, look, that hasn't actually worked as much as people think it is. I think, look, even I mentioned this. When Fabrizio retweets a tweet, it doesn't necessarily happen that quickly because he did it with Ugarte and still we haven't done anything there. But he did retweet earlier a tweet about YORO, basically saying that Manchester United have a formal bid accepted and Lille are insisting that he goes to Manchester United, but that he has always given his priority to Real Madrid and he's waiting for them. And I think that you could read, look, people take the best bits out of everything, don't they? You know, you're eating your Sunday lunch, you might go for the meat and the potatoes and, you know, avoid the vegetables. You know, you're in bed with your missus and you go straight for the, I better not do that. But you know what I mean? People always go for their favourite areas. And I think when you look at that retweet from Romano, it does say positive things about Man United, but it also says Lenny Yoro has always given priority to Real Madrid and is waiting for them. And I think that that is probably the most significant update we've had all the way through this. He's obviously open to talking to Manchester United, but I think he's waiting on Real Madrid. And what if Real Madrid have just said, we don't want to do it. We don't need to do it. We want something else. So I don't know. But I still think that we can get De Ligt in. Goldbridge says United still in for Yoro and De Ligt, says Tim. Breaking news there. Yeah. And I've got more breaking news as well. Oh, shit, breaking my phone. Are you still there, David? Yeah, we're ready. Give it us. Breaking news. What's this? Okay. Lovely stuff. Yeah, I'm still here. Good. Yeah, how are you? Weather's great. This is it. I'm ready. Go. Yeah, fine. Right. The United stand understands that Joshua Zirkzee will be a Manchester United player this season. Brilliant stuff. But let's talk about another news story that is genuine. Talk Sport. If I speak, Talk Sport have reported this afternoon that Manchester United are preparing a new contract for Scott McTominay. They've already rejected interest from the Premier League and Turkey, and they are about to give Scott McTominay a new long-term contract as he is important to them and they do not want to sell him. Now, some might say talk shit, some might say talk sport. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. Don't judge. But it's not actually a TalkSport exclusive because this has been going on for about 3 months. And if you want an exclusive on this, I should probably claim it because I never said it, but I'm going to claim it. This is what everybody... you know what? Put your hand up if you think this is the summer of people nicking other people's stories and regurgitating it. Like, if I see another Yoro is open to a Man United move as an exclusive from somebody this evening, I'm going to just cry. Because that was an exclusive at 2 o'clock from a French journalist. And, you know, there's a lot of people doing it at the moment. But viewers of this channel, let me just say this to you. How can it be an exclusive of TalkSport or anybody else that Man United are going to give Scott McTominay a new contract and that's an exclusive today, when I said to you at the end of February, and some of you will remember this, Manchester United are not selling Bruno Fernandes, Scott McTominay and Marcus Rashford. Those 3 players are not for sale. And that was before they'd made a mind up on Ten Hag. So if you're not selling McTominay in February, he's only got 1 year left on his contract. That means he's getting a new contract. And I told you that in February. So people coming out saying McTominay's getting a new contract, 2 + 2 is 4. Like, if he's not for sale, he has to get a new contract because he's only got 1 year left. We're not going to say... I mean, imagine that. Imagine that. Galatasaray wants Scott McTominay. West Ham wants Scott McTominay. No. We're not taking your money for Scott McTominay. No. He's not for sale. Am I getting a new contract or what? No, Scott. And why are you putting on a Scottish accent? We know you play for Scotland, but you've got an English accent. Well, am I getting a new contract or not? No. So you're letting me run my contract down? Yeah. And you've not took any money for me this summer? Yeah. Yeah, that's not happening. So when I said McTominay's not for sale in February, that means he's getting a new contract this summer. So I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised by it at all. But I don't agree with it. I think some of you might be quite surprised about how I word this, because I don't know what your thoughts are. I don't agree with him getting a new contract. I understand it. You know, every Manchester United manager has liked him. Jose Mourinho, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Rangnick, Ten Hag, they've all liked him. They've all used him. He's a well-liked lad around the club. And that is not in doubt. So, you know, positives. But there is a big but here. Tell me I'm wrong. Well, you can't tell me I'm wrong because it's my opinion, but my opinion is this. Starting with the positives, very good in the air, very good at finding spaces in the box to score goals. That's it. Not very good at tackling, not very good at picking up players, not very quick, not very good at passing, not very good at creating goals. So, good in the air, good at scoring goals in the box. That's not enough. That's not even enough for a bench player. Has Pep Guardiola got a tall box midfielder? Has Arteta got that? You know, and that's why I'd sell Scott McTominay. It's got nothing to do with his personality. It's got nothing to do with his effort. And it's got nothing to do with the fact that everybody likes him. It's to do with the fact that I don't get what his player profile brings to a team like us. I don't see where, when he starts, we're not going to be able to pass through the midfield. When he comes on, we're really just going to have to be pinging balls into the box. I don't see how he fits in to a Manchester United team other than Brentford last 10 minutes, let's ping a load of balls into the box. So I don't really get what it's about, really. To me, it feels a little bit of a charity contract. It feels a little bit like a cheerleader contract. And I know that sounds really offensive, but I sort of don't get it. I don't get the profile of the player. If we're here saying Varane needs to go because he's on a big wage and he's injury prone, and we're here saying Eriksen needs to go because he's 31, and we're here saying let's send Amrabat back because, you know, he might not be a starter, and we're saying let's sell Wan-Bissaka because he's not very good going forward. I agree with all that, but then we're saying let's give Scott McTominay a new contract because he's from the youth and he's good in the air. That to me is just a contradiction. Like, if we're clearing out, let's clear out. And that's, you know, that's not me sat here going, oh, he's absolutely rubbish, Scooby-Doo and all that crap. I'm literally saying, okay, give him a new contract, absolutely fine. I just don't really understand it. I don't, you know, he's not very good with the ball at his feet. He's not very quick. He's not very good at picking up the runners. He's quite easy to skip past for a midfielder. His tackling isn't that good. He gets a lot of yellow cards. Very good in the air. Very good in the air. Very good in the air. And he's good at picking up goals. But that's not enough. That's not enough. And I don't really think if I'm the manager and I look on the bench, I go, ooh, you know, I want something a little bit more rounded. So I don't agree with giving him a new contract and then selling people like Wan-Bissaka and Eriksen. I just think that's a bit contradictory, to be honest with you. And the worst thing about it is you get more money from McTominay because it's pure profit. And he actually has got a value. He's worth about 35 million quid. So I just think you get a lot more for selling him. But I'm not surprised by the new contract. And as I said in February, he's not up for sale. There is interest, but he is not up for sale. Realistic United team for next season, says Alex Wing. Well, I don't want to, I'll answer this. Realistic team for next season would be Onana, Dalot, Martinez, new signing, whether it's YORO or De Ligt, Luke Shaw, Ugarte, Mainu, Bruno, Rashford, Garnacho, Rasmus, and a decent bench made up of people like Xerxes, Mount, come on, there are others I'm completely forgetting, but you know what I mean. More to the point, realistic summer transfer window, because I put a tweet out about this today. What would you think about this out of 10? Listen, out of 10, what would you give this transfer window? YORO, Branthwaite, Ugarte, Xerxes, Frimpong, Gutierrez. Two fullbacks, two centre-backs, midfielder and attacker. YORO, Branthwaite, Ugarte, Xerxes, Gutierrez, Frimpong. I'd like De Ligt as well, and that would take it up to about an 8 for me. 7.5, I'd give that. But, yeah, I wouldn't argue with it being an 8. I mean, that's not happening, says Dan. I mean, Frimpong's probably not happening. Gutierrez is going to be a stretch. Agate should happen. YORO could happen. Xerxes has happened. Branthwaite probably isn't going to happen. But I don't think that would be a bad summer transfer window, really. Hamlet Gomez says, been watching you since 2019. It's been a privilege. Well, it's been a privilege to have you as an audience member, Hamlet. Constantino says, hi, Mark. Just thought that it would make sense buying both YORO and De Ligt and using Shaw as a backup centre-back, considering we buy a starter left-back as Inácio and Branthwaite are more expensive, a cheaper solution. And you're not the only person to present that cheaper solution, and it's a good solution. With young potential signings, Mark, our average squad age would be 23 instead of 27 when Ten Hag started, says Abhijit. And are we keeping him because of homegrown rules, says Ettore? Maybe. Maybe. But you know what? Sell McTominay, bring Collier through. Homegrown. Realistic United team for next season we've done. I know we don't talk Southgate anymore, but how would you feel if he joined the US men's national team? How does he do? He'd probably do okay, mate, really. I mean, I don't want to upset you. He thinks he can get a job in the Premier League with a Champions League club. Try not to laugh. Lenny Yoro's hairdresser's third cousin's dog has just told me that Yoro is open to joining Man United this season, says James Holland. And that's breaking news. And that's the sort of news we need. De Ligt's had his chance to come to United. I'd love him to come, but I think Yoro's hungry and young. Ten Hag produced something great, says Jay Bignell. Oh, mate, can I just call out the absolute morons who are saying that De Ligt had his chance to come to United? You know, to believe that story, you basically got to tattoo "I'm a moron" on your forehead. At what point did De Ligt reject Manchester United? Oh, was that in the summer when liars were telling us that we were trying to sign De Ligt? I mean, come on. I've played the game. I remember that summer transfer window. I remember doing videos about De Ligt done because it was all over bloody Twitter and it was bullshit. It was the summer of the ITK, the in the know. We never went in for De Ligt. We never went in for De Ligt. Mino Raiola was alive, and Mino Raiola did what Mino Raiola does. He played everybody against each other, pumped up the price, and took him to Italy. We weren't even in for him. I don't know. I've seen a few people talking about that today. I don't want De Ligt because he rejected us before. When did he fucking reject us then? When did Man United bid for De Ligt? You're talking about the Glazer and Ed Woodward regime as well. We shit ourselves bidding in against other clubs. When did we ever go and bid against other clubs? We weren't even in that race. We were in the race because, guess what? The 5 principles of transfers use Man United to get more interest. Agent uses Man United to get more interest. But we were not in that race. We weren't in that race. We were just used. Do you think both Lindelof and Maguire are staying? I'm going to talk about that, TMG. And do you think the hold-up with the Agate deal is Qatar not wanting to do business with us? No, Roro, I don't. I think we're just working on something else at the moment. Mark, have you heard that Lenny Yoro is interested in joining United, says Harvey? Also, would you take Reinders as a potential midfield? I thought you were joking, Harvey. I thought you were actually being ironic. Like, did you hear that? I think you're telling the truth. How was your coma? Also, would you take Reinders as a potential midfield signing? Look, he's had a good Euros. I don't scout people on Euros. He's a half-decent midfielder, but we've not been linked to him. So I think if we're going to talk about midfielders that we've not been linked to, there are people like Zubamendi that we have sort of been linked to that I think would be a decent option beyond Agate. So, yeah, look, there are a few midfielders out there, but I'd say at the moment it looks like it will be Agate. I mean, one thing of interest, actually, just before we talk about the Maguire situation and the Lindelof situation, we have got a interesting scenario at Manchester United. Who do you think is the player we can sell for the most money? Who do you think that is? Oh, shit. I knew it! I knew it! I bloody told them! I knew it! I knew this was going to happen! I bloody said it and they don't listen! Every bloody time! They're all trying to get the scoop. Oh, Yoro's interested. Yoro's open. What if it's just their agent generating interest? Oh, we don't want to listen to that. 90%, 90%. RMC Sport. Real Madrid will make a new offer for Lenny YORO. Breaking news. Now, look. It doesn't necessarily mean anything, but it could mean everything. Lenny YORO's open to joining Man United. Real Madrid put a new offer in for Lenny YORO. I've played the game. I've played the game. I've been saying this to you all day. All day I've been saying this. My big concern is it's a cry for help from YORO and his team to say, we're thinking about going to Man United because you're not showing us enough love. And Real Madrid either go, we don't want you, or they go, come to Bernabeu. And that might be what's going to happen. And all I'll say is, I'm not surprised. And if that happens, I'm glad I said I wanted De Ligt anyway. But, look, it doesn't mean it's over. It doesn't mean it's over. But, obviously, the expected story is that Real Madrid will come back in. And if Real Madrid come back in, we know his preference has always been Real Madrid. So, yeah, it'd be hard. I agree with Eddie. YORO's shit anyway. Yeah, if he signs for Man United, he's the best centre-back in the world. If he goes to Real Madrid, he's overrated. Poundland Varane. Mark, would you be happy to selling name rights for Old Trafford? No, Darren, absolutely not. That's just mercenary. Will you be coming to LA for the preseason game? You're more than welcome. Yeah, I was meant to be coming, but I have got my new book coming out, which I'm going to read a little bit of at the end of the show when people go and watch Love Island. Would Højlund be in your starting 11, says Reef? Mate, yes. At the end of the season, he scored 2 really good goals. If we can get service to him, I think he had I think he'll have learnt a lot last season. For me, I'm over the moon that we've got Xerxes, but Rasmus would start the season for me. And I just can't wait. I really wish last season, and these are good questions, I really wish last season that Martial had been fit for half of it. Because I know people slag Martial off, but if he'd been fit, it would have been so useful at times to start Martial and give Rasmus a break. Or take Rasmus off after 70 minutes and bring him on. So I think that having Xerxes is great for Rasmus and likewise. And, you know, let the competition begin. And also they play on the same team. I think as fans, we'll have our preference of who should start. But I just want, you know, I'm fortunate. Some of you are fortunate as well. I lived in a time when we used to have different options and you liked them all. Whether it was Zaha, Berbatov, Tevez, Rooney, Ronaldo, or it was Solskjaer, Sheringham, Cole, York. Like, it's great to have more options. Simple as that. Do you think... thank you very much. Okay, I want to talk... Anyway, I was saying to you there, before the breaking news. Who do you think Man United could sell for the most money, legit? Because I was talking to somebody today who wouldn't tell me anything about De Ligt, but they were happy to have this conversation. And I was saying to them, okay, you won't tell me anything about De Ligt, but hypothetically, this would be really nice to bring into the show tonight. If Man United needed to make a load of money, who's the player they could sell to make the most money from? And I know the answer. And they gave me the answer anyway, because they know the information's already out there. So it's not really a breaking news story. It's definitely not Rashford, by the way. Wayne says it's Rashford and it's pure profit. You're wrong. If you said Rashford, I understand why, because my brain wandered towards Rashford. But it's not Rashford, because no one wants Rashford. There's no offer on the table. We can't sell Rashford. So he is not the player we can make the most money on. Logically, it should be him, but nobody wants him. So we can't sell something that... As sad as it is, we get more money from McTominay than we get for Rashford, because McTominay, there are people willing to pay 35 million quid. No one's willing to give us anything for Rashford at the moment because of his massive wage and the uncertainty about his form. There's certainly nobody putting offers on the table. The player that we could sell, if we wanted to, for the most money is Bruno. Those Saudi Arabia, it's there. And I don't actually know how much it is, but there is interest in Bruno from Saudi. So if he'd have to want to go there, of course. But yeah, it would be Bruno. He's the most expensive asset we've got that somebody would actually give us money for. Would Saudi Arabia take Rashford? I mean, they probably would, actually. I suppose you could say, well, if you could sell Rashford to Saudi Arabia, I'm sure they would take him. Yeah, actually, I suppose you're probably right. But there actually is bids from Saudi Arabia for Bruno. We won't do it, and I don't think Bruno would go anyway. Goldbridge prefers De Ligt, says Tim. Breaking news. I just watched a highlight video of Yoro. I understand it's only a small sample, but good stuff. Love the show, says Warren. Ashworth wanted McTominay at Newcastle, says Dave. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Jimsky says, good starting 11 over a decent complete squad. And also, could United be waiting to complete a De Ligt deal until securing Yoro in worries that signing De Ligt would scare Yoro away due to having many centre-backs, says I am the keeper. Yeah, look, I think Yoro is the priority because if we're going to do it, we've got to do it fast. And I can give you, while we've been live on this show, we've had the development. At the start of the show, there's all this Yoro's family urging him to come to Man United. Yoro is open to coming to Man United. And I said to you, didn't I? Man United will be there now with Yoro saying, these are the wages, do you want them? They'll be trying to get it done really quickly in the next 24 hours because they'll be scared of what has actually just happened. Real Madrid coming in and saying, this is our bid. And that's been my concern all along. For all this, Yoro's open to coming to Man United. Yoro still could come to Man United, but I've always feared that, the world knows that Yoro might join Man United. So Real Madrid know, and then Madrid come in. And that's the latest news from France, is that Real Madrid have come in with a new bid for him. Perez is a shit as well. Real Madrid, look, I'm envious of it. They are an amazing football club. They're the biggest football club in the world. They win the Champions League all the time. They don't lose battles they don't want to lose. They don't lose battles they don't want to lose. I mean, they ended up, people thought PSG beat Real Madrid. They won the battle. They didn't win the war. Like, Real Madrid were very pissed off that Mbappe stayed and signed the new contract with PSG. But ultimately, Real Madrid won the war because they paid nothing for Mbappe as he ran his contract down. They don't lose battles they want to win. And if they want to win the Yoro battle, as I've always said, they will win it unless something amazing happens. And look, keep on dreaming. I don't think it'll happen. I really, really don't. Let's just, if Rashi don't pass, put him on the first plane to PSG, says Grace. But PSG don't want him. We've got to get behind Rashford. He's got to have a big season. He's going to have a big season. If you think it and believe it, it could happen. I've just been told to go and have a look at MUFC at MPB, and I literally broke that story on United stand before they did. So, yeah, we already know about that. Real Madrid will make a new offer for Lenny Yoro. It don't look good, bruv, if you want Yoro. It don't look good. Anyway, I was going to talk about the centre-back situation. Interesting conversation this afternoon. Couldn't find anything out about De Ligt. Very, very frustrating. But during the centre-back conversation, we were talking about Harry Maguire, and I was saying, well, Southgate retiring or resigning has to make Harry Maguire think. So talking away, and the information was this. Harry Maguire isn't even fit yet. He's actually training on his own with Malacia. I think Malacia it is, but he's not actually going to play on Saturday because he's not actually back fit yet. So he's still going through the process of getting back to training with the squad. There is no talk of Harry Maguire leaving Man United at the moment. And actually, what I was told is, I wouldn't be surprised, this is not my word, this is the word of the person I was talking to, wouldn't be surprised that if Harry Maguire retired from international football and focused on Manchester United, because he's still got a couple of years left on his deal at 190 grand a week. So he may well just think, I'll retire from England and focus on Manchester United. So I'm not saying that's going to happen. That was just what somebody said to me today. I'm going to go on a hunch. I still think we're in for De Ligt, and I'm going to go on another hunch and say, I think Harry Maguire isn't 32 until March, which means at the next World Cup, he will still be 33. He'll be 33. He's never relied on pace. The only thing that Harry Maguire needs to worry about is fitness. I don't think anything in his game is going to change massively between now and the next World Cup. So, and also, I don't think he'll want to finish his England career missing out on the Euros. So I don't think he will retire from England. And if he wants to keep playing for England, he's got to start for a Premier League club. And I don't think he's going to start for Manchester United. So I personally think Harry Maguire is going to get himself fit, go on the tour, come back, and then look for a move in August. I think that's what he's going to do. But just bear in mind, there are those who think he might retire from international football and focus on Man United. So, you know, do a Varane without being as good as Varane. Real Madrid set to submit a fresh bid for YORO, says Jimmy. Hold on a minute, Jimmy. Jimmy, wait. It's only about the 4th time I've heard it, but wait, what's this? Yes, Fabrice. Yes, I'm here. Don't speak French. Au revoir. Je m'appelle Marc. Je voudrais deux fromage frais. Pints. Breaking news. Wow, you've come to the right place, Fabrice. Okay, thanks very much. Breaking news. Breaking news from Fabrice. The United stand understands. We've nicked it from Fabrice. That Real Madrid will put a bid in for YORO. Remember where you heard it here first. Yeah, I'm taking the piss, Jimmy. But you are right to tell us, because I guarantee you in 3 hours' time, the Manchester Evening News will tell us the same thing again. And tomorrow, somebody else will claim it as their own and tell us that again. Real Madrid are going to bid again for Lenny YORO. I think we all expect that. Well, I expected it. I did expect it. Ange didn't play Dyer, and look what happened, says Grace Sheridan. What's your favourite Korean food, says Son. I'd have to have a list of it, really. I can't think of any off the top of my head. Could United be willing to complete a Delit deal until securing YORO? Worries that signing Delit would scare YORO away. Yeah, I've done that one, haven't I? Ian, the keeper, thank you very much. Look, it's been an interesting show, hasn't it? I think that just across the last hour, Delit has become more likely. And even before that Real Madrid story broke and it looked like YORO was getting close to United, I said I still think we're in for Delit. Just the conversations I was having this afternoon, and these people are in the know at the club, and they were like, no comment. I was like, come on, give us something about Delit. Are we in the race? Are we out the race? No comment. And to me, that always means there's something going on. And I just don't think we're out the Delit race at all. So, yeah. Not surprised that Real Madrid are going to put a new bid in. Don't ever expect Real Madrid to lose a race. And, you know, I think all those people who are reporting that YORO's open to joining Man United probably should take a naivety test, because you'll get an A star. You're massively naive because you fell for it. Whoever's giving you that information, you may as well have jumped on the hook, because they've had you like a prat. Whoever's put that out there, that YORO's open to joining Man United, and all these people have jumped on it going, YORO's open to joining Man United. Look, I jumped on it at 2 o'clock, but I did say I'm scared that this is actually just a bit of a ploy to get Real Madrid to put a bid in. I think some people genuinely were reporting it like, oh yeah, I've heard he's willing to come to Man United. And until he holds that shirt up, and I'm not normally like that, you know, there are deals where I say this is going to happen, but in a deal like this against Real Madrid, I ain't getting excited until he's holding that shirt up, because you've got to get it done, sealed and delivered. Otherwise, there's always a chance. And I think on reflection, if he ends up holding a Real Madrid shirt up anytime soon, this whole story today, we've been played. We've been framed. They've basically said we're going to Man United to get Madrid to do what they're going to do. And scripted. And we've been played. And maybe that's why Liverpool went out of the race ages ago. Because I tell you what, another good theory is, if YORO was open to joining Man United and Real Madrid were not in the race, why would you not re-enter the race as Liverpool and PSG? Because you'd fancy your chances against United, and they never have come back in, have they? Liverpool left the race ages ago because they knew Real Madrid wanted him. So, look, if we end up getting YORO, it'll be steal of the century. If we don't end up getting YORO, then we'll all sit there and say, I told you so. But There we go. Tim says Goldbridge is the new Romano. No. I mean, you know, I'm taking the piss. I don't like Chelsea, says Prodigy, but Enzo is not a racist. Okay. I think that needs to be on another forum because no context to that at all, and we're not a Chelsea channel. Where did you get that green shirt from earlier, says Gazzy? I wish I did have that green shirt to sell, because the amount of people who, when I'm out, say what a lovely shirt. And the bottom line is, I haven't got it next to me, and I can't remember where I got it from. But yeah, it is nice. Right, let me just double check something, because I just want to double check here that we've not had any. Oh look, I'm ready to go. Like last night, I was ready at 10:30 for a 10:30 drop. You know, I think at some point we are going to start getting them. The FA want to appoint Pep Guardiola and are willing to wait for the Spaniard till 2025. That means they could appoint Gareth Southgate an interim. Well, yeah, he won't do that. There's no way Pep Guardiola is going to want to do that. Oh, Darren Bent's just tweeted, going to be really interesting for Enzo Fernandez turning up at training. No room for racism. Oh, it's to do with Argentina players singing a racist song about Mbappe in France. Oh, shit. I hope Martinez and Garnacho aren't in it. You know, that's the trouble when you're reacting to something live, but I don't really know. Don't really know what that's all about, to be fair. But there we go. There's always something going on, isn't there? Always something going on. Whew! Bloody hell, you won't believe what I just saw. Right, pair. Twitter, eh? They should be censoring that. Mario Franco says, I've seen being used as source. Why? Mate, I'm not here to have a pop at other content creators. Those days are long behind me, Mario. I know people take a pop at me all the time, but that's just size matters, I suppose. Either Kadioglu and Yoro or Gutierrez and Delit. Second one, hens, definitely. Where did you get that green shirt from? I don't know. Right, if you want to go and watch Love Island, you can. But I did say, thank you very much to Manscaped. 20% off, free worldwide shipping. Lovely stuff with that. But I did say I was going to read a little bit of my book for you. And you are the ultras. So the reason I'm going to read this, I read a little bit about pre-season the other day. And there's plenty in the book, so don't worry. I'm not giving all the best bits, and I'm certainly not reading the whole book. It's got at least 200 pages. It's got more than that. But the context to this story is, I believe, like somebody said in the chat, I am the original Fabrizio Romano, and I have proof of it in my book. So the context of this is, I used to do a paper round in the early 90s, and I used to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. It was for dramatic effect, I said 5 o'clock in the book. It was more like 6:30. So I used to get up early, go and get the papers and post them. And while I was posting the papers, you'd have the Daily Mirror, the Times. I'd read all the papers, and nobody had the internet in them days. So this is the story about Roy Keane and how I became the Fabrizio Romano of my school. So I completed my paper round in record time that morning, desperate to be the first on the school bus to break the news that Roy Keane would be a Manchester United player. There were always other knobheads trying to muscle in on my turf, and this was my Martin McCutcheon moment. I'd been up since 5 a.m, 6:30, and I couldn't let some other kid take all the glory. Sadly, I was far from the hero that day I had envisaged. It was an early experience of what I would one day face on Twitter if I dared mention a surprise transfer story. Shock, anger, and name-calling. On the bus that morning, stop talking shit, you dickhead. Keane's already signed for Blackburn. He hasn't, I said. He's signed for United. Why are you lying, Mark? Everyone, Mark's lying because he's got a small knob. The state of transfer discourse has continued to go down the hill ever since. Nevertheless, despite the fear of being beat up, I didn't back down. I knew I was right. This wasn't some exclusive story in The Sun. This was the bloody Times. They wouldn't lie, would they? Quickly, word got around. Other sources were checked. There were muffled whispers in the playground that morning and sly glances in my direction. The older boys stopped polishing their knuckle dusters. Finally, everyone realised I had indeed been speaking the truth. There were no official apologies, but suddenly I was like Don Corleone on his daughter's wedding day. People would seek me out for a private one-on-one. Hey Mark, what was the transfer fee for Roy Keane again? 3.75 million, a record fee, my son. At that, I'd hold out my hand so they could pledge allegiance to Don Mark. At least that's how I remember it. It's the section out of my book. Order it now, pre-order it. But that's true. That's true. Before Fabrizio Romano and the internet, on my school bus, I was the original Fabrizio Romano because there was no internet, there was no phones, and lazy shits would get out of bed at 7:30, have a Weetabix, get on the bus, and the first bit of news they'd get was from me. And I'd go, read it in the Sun this morning. United, gonna sign Gary Lineker. I'd give him the lot. I'd give him the lot. And that is the story. Well, it's not the story, but that is why I've always loved transfers, because I tell you what, that's why I love transfers, because I used to have a paper round where I'd get all the papers, be reading them at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I'd be on the bus, and everyone just be like, "Oh, what's the latest with Chelsea? Wow, it's not looking good for Glenn Hoddle. You know, could be a cruciate ligament injury, could be out for the season. Thinking about retiring. Talk of him going to manage Swindon. You're having a laugh." And then on the way home, they'd be like, "I've just seen it on teletext. Brilliant." Anyway, thanks everyone for watching. You've been legends tonight. If you want to pre-order the book, please do. Scan the QR code. Links in the description. If you're going to do it, go on the Penguin link and enter the competition, because there's prizes to be won as well. Thanks, everyone. Take care. Could be back live later. We'll have to wait and see. And you've been legends tonight. It's been a good show, actually, because we've had breaking news coming through it. And the fact that I said about De Ligt, I think we're still in for him based on the people I spoke to today. It looks like I was right. Brilliant show. Tony's pre-ordered the book. He's a legend. Thanks, everyone. Take care. And I think you really enjoyed the book, by the way, but I forgot to say this before. When the book officially comes out in 2 weeks' time, all the pre-orders count. So we could go in to the top 10 of the Sunday Times bestseller list, which will just absolutely destroy the establishment. So it'd be great. Please do. Watch England hire Jurgen Klinsmann, says Margot. Well, hasn't Neville said that he doesn't want an English coach? He doesn't want a foreign coach. I don't care. I don't understand that mentality that the manager of England's got to be English. But you know me, diverse. Always said that. Take care. Speak to you in a bit.